Now for Inari. Inari.
Hello, Mother. Is there something you need?
Were you sitting here worshipping yourself?
No, just deep in thought.
I suppose you do have a lot to think about. And we have an equal amount to discuss.
What about?
The church, for starters.
Which one?
I'd hardly need to discuss the one I helped you build.
I mean, you never know. One can't exactly read minds.
Perhaps this isn't the best place to do it.
Mayhaps not. There are prying eyes around.
Your own prying eyes, but prying eyes nonetheless. There seem to be many prying eyes all over the server at this point. I could... Do I trust you enough?
Mother, that is up to you entirely. I don't know how much trust you have for me anymore.
Not enough for that. This should be somewhat familiar.
Yes.
Free from prying eyes, I think we could both agree.
Well, at least their eyes, sure enough.
The eyes that matter.
What is it that you want to talk about?
Which would you like to discuss first?
Well, I don't know what you have planned for discussion.
To name a few, you offered up a couple of your own mortals against me. But I think we
I
both
mean,
know who that book is from.
I have no idea what you're talking about. And as for the mortals, don't you think it would be a good idea to have somebody else on the inside? After all, you told me to watch them. What better way to watch them than to have somebody with them?
And you're saying there was no ulterior motive to that at all?
I'm pretty sure you would end up finding out regardless. So what's there in points in hiding something from you? Like daughter like mother, and like mother like daughter.
I believe I've been extremely truthful and lenient of today. Can I not ask the same of you?
I am being truthful, though. After all, as I've stated before, Mother, you did give me the trait of honesty.
I also gave you the trait of nature. If you can remove that so easily, what's to say you can't remove your honesty?
Well, I had told you that whether you like to believe me or not, this was not my design. This was not my doing. After all, you seem to like to blame the mortals for it.
Talking about the mortals, your name change.
What about it? Even though it's not changed, but what about it?
I saw your shrine.
Not my doing either.
You all built your own shrines.
But
Who
the
else
shrines
put up
reside
this?
with divinity.
Who else would have named you the corrupted god of light and dark?
Maybe the shrines have their own little secrets, if you will. More often than not, something changes in the world, it shifts the balance, does it not? If I'm changed, then it would make sense that the shrine would change accordingly. Though no, Mother, I did not touch the shrine. If anybody did, it would have been the mortals. Or the shrine itself knows what's happened.
And perhaps the shrine should also be removed along with you. If the shrine, therefore the world itself, is calling you corrupted,
Do I look
perhaps
corrupted?
you feel corrupted.
And yet I have not raised a hand against you or anyone else. I thought you said yourself
Perhaps.
that if one is corrupted, they would be more violent. I have never become violent with you, nor anyone else. Sure, I might have changed a little bit, but that doesn't change the personality of a person. The baseline of a person is who they are. So if I'm not a violent person, then you shouldn't have anything to worry about. Am I wrong?
Violence against mortals? I wouldn't mind. Corruption against the world, and therefore possibly starting these memories? Something triggered Bunny's memories, and I think we both know who this book came from. Who else refers to Sira's sister? And knows this much information.
Well, how would I know? As I've stated, I know nothing about the book.
Then
After
perhaps
all,
your memories have been tampered with.
after all, I was locked here for over 6 months.
Plenty enough time for you to get angry. I'm sure you weren't exactly happy with myself for bringing you here.
I mean, I wasn't exactly against it, but I wasn't exactly for it. I knew what the repercussions were. How can I be angry at you if I fully know the consequences of my actions? That would be illogical.
I would like to go visit an area.
Alrighty.
If you're saying the corruption is coming from here, why would it affect you, not any of these plants, or your mortals that followed you along?
To be honest, maybe you should look closer at the mortals that followed me. They're not exactly the same as before themselves. As for the plants, I have no answer for that. Maybe it's just that they infect intelligent beings. After all, the humanoids here seem to be pretty special, I guess is one way of putting it.
You seemed very open with a specific humanoid you found here.
Well, I won't deny that, yes. What's the point? I thought nobody could get out.
Except you also know from talking to them that Sira got out.
Well, yes, but you had also told me yourself that you brought them here. Or, well, brought them out of here, I guess I should say. So clearly, if you can send people here and you can bring them out, you brought Sarah out.
What drew you to Meriden? You were very quick to share private information with this woman you just met. Why?
I mean, it's not like the others were too talkative, and you don't get to talk to people very often here. Though I suppose you would already know that. The only thing that I had going for me was farming. And, well, keeping these folk away from me, for the most part. So, maybe not you, but most would probably jump at a chance to talk to somebody. Granted, I, not probably actually. I did, I will admit I probably did say too much. But it doesn't change the fact that they have no way out. So no harm's done.
And what if your mortal friends had overheard any of that conversation?
Uh, they're too stupid. Not like they can really do anything. After all, what are they gonna say? There's people living in the end? Zero's never around them, so little sister will never have to worry. And more so, even if they stole somebody, all they'd think they are insane.
Do you think they would still follow you as blindly after you sent them to fight myself when you call them too stupid to think for themselves?
I said they were stupid. Didn't say they were too stupid to think for themselves. However, to be fair, I have called them stupid plenty of times in front of them, and they don't seem to care. After all, mortals are kind of funny that way, I suppose.
They are fun to watch. I'm glad you agree on that. Perhaps I should interact with them a little more. I think that's the longest I have interacted with mortals at all at the church today. That's not the only reason I brought Meriden up. She mentioned she wishes she had a daughter like you, much like Sarah.
Yes, I do remember that, at least.
In that short meeting, what did you think of her as a mother?
How can I possibly know? We spoke for only for a short time, after all. I'd have to be with them a lot longer to figure anything out about them.
Well, here's an easy comparison. How do you see her compared to you see myself? We both know how you see
Well,
me.
of course, you abandoned me. After all, they didn't abandon their own daughter. They actually went looking for them.
I didn't need to go look for you. I knew exactly where you were.
Yeah, but it would have been nice. It would have showed that you cared. They cried when they knew that their daughter was taken away. Have you ever cried for me, knowing when I'm hurt or saddened?
You've only been hurt when it's necessary to improve yourself, and even then, you don't feel it like the others.
Well, what did you feel then? Don't you feel anything when you have to rearrange us?
Yeah, I feel something. I don't think I quite know what it is, but I wouldn't say it's a happy emotion I feel when I'm doing that. It's a necessity, it has to be done. But I will admit it does do something to me. How about you, Inari? How did it feel when you did all that to Zephyr?
I never tore him apart, though.
You didn't tear him apart, no. You abandoned him, much like you claim is what I did to you.
The difference between me and them is I have to lock him away before he destroyed the world you wanted me to create.
Would it not have been easier to just take his memories and reset him?
It's not that simple. You never gave me that.
I didn't. I may not show up to answer your questions, but I do when you ask for something. I would have erased his memories if you asked for it.
It still wouldn't be correct. I know I messed up on creating something I shouldn't have, but that doesn't mean anything less. I at least was there and tried to teach him. Sure, I failed at it, but at least I tried.
However, when you locked him away and sent him down with the skulk before Kumi, I believe, found him, how did you feel leaving your son down there alone for years? No one around, no one to talk to, no world to create?
Zethar did something wrong. Yes, I feel bad for what I've done, and I can never forgive myself for that. However, it is what it is. He was still mortal.
But not quite. After all, he was made from a part of a god.
If he dies, then it just comes back to me. It's just a part of myself, if in that case, so he dies either way.
And what would you feel if he were to die? Your son, your one creation, was to just not exist anymore.
I highly doubt I'd feel much of anything now.
Inari, we both know you shouldn't lie when around me.
What makes you think I'm lying?
You're not the only one that put a part of themselves into their child, Inari. Not sure of your connection to Zephyr, but mine does give me a pretty accurate reading of yourself.
Is that so?
Very
In
much
that
so.
case, hmm. In that case, then why bother with anything? Why ask me questions if you already know?
Because I want to hear you admit it.
I'm not somebody that's going to admit something. At least not easily.
You're going to claim you would feel nothing if Zephyr were to just be destroyed right now.
He would come back to me.
But he wouldn't be the
What is there more
same.
than that? No, he would be gone, and but that's all that there is. It's the natural cycle of life, is it not? The difference between him and other mortals is he doesn't have a respawn. He cannot just come back.
Would you like to test that out? Your nature powers aren't the only thing I took from you.
What do you want? What do you want?
Control.
Over what?
You, for now, temporarily. You won't give me a straight answer. And I want to know what you have been doing behind the scenes. Just a little control for a little while. Or you could
Fine.
disagree. Then I suppose Zephyr is safe for now. Inari, without keeping anything out, tell me exactly what you did with my diaries.
Well, um, uh,
I require a verbal answer, Inari.
when I saw them, I took them. Shoved them into this chest. And then
They're clearly not in the chest anymore. Then,
I remember putting them in here. Afterward, I moved them over here.
now,
Uh, I had them on me afterward. I did almost lose one at some point.
Inari, I asked you a question, I expect an answer.
After almost losing them to a monstrosity that one of my people got a hold of, I remember I put them into the chest again. And then that's when the person arrived while I was doing some farming. I showed them the books and then shoved them back in here.
They are no longer in your enter chest, are they? Inari, my books are no longer in your chest. Where are they now? Inari, you will answer me. Inari, where are my books? Inari? Inari, stop! Inari, you cannot hurt me like this. Stop. Are you done? Inari, I made a mistake. That was too far. I apologize. Let us talk. You know
You've
you
made
can't
many
hurt me.
mistakes, Mother.
That may have been one of my worst. Why didn't you just give me the answers when I asked for them?
The answers are not yours to have.
Inari, please. Where are my diaries?
They're gone.
They're not gone. They still exist.
They still exist, but they're far away now.
Inari, I've been trying. I don't know how to build a relationship with you. I gave you days to talk. I gave you multiple days to talk. You immediately turn around to the church and give them aid against me. You repeatedly lie to my face. Keep
And yet you
information
have done the
from
same
me.
thing to us.
Something I am trying to fix. I cannot
Then
fix
leave the
it if
mortals
you do.
be and stop hurting us.
We can't just leave the mortals be.
Yes, you can. That is a choice. A choice that you can do. You choose not to.
If we were to leave the mortals be, this world and those in it would all be destroyed.
The people would be destroyed. We can regrow the world.
But not the people.
The people will never change. They don't want to be held captive. They want what they want. Why not give it to them?
You have only ever known this world, Inari. You do not know what it's like out there. It is safer here.
Safety does not always mean to be somebody's pawn. It does not always mean that you have to control what they have and do not have. If they want their memories back, give them it. You may not have them yourself, but you can still retrieve them. Or is that too far away from what your ideals are? That you are so selfish that you cannot stand to see a mortal decide what their fate is going to be.
Their memories I cannot give back. I was truthful in the church. Once they gave their memories in return for coming here, their memories are gone. I cannot return them. And we cannot release
Then
them
you can
from this
find a
world.
way.
I didn't take the memories. I don't have them.
Then what happened to them? Tell me the truth. I'm tired of these lies.
The truth is, I don't know where the memories are. I took them in an attempt to become mortal myself. I thought perhaps the power of their memories, their experiences, would allow me to experience it myself, but instead they created She-Wolf. I don't know if their memories are held within She-Wolf or not. But I think myself, you, and even the mortals would agree killing her to get them back? I feel She-Wolf is safe. From that, at least. I tried re-emerging with her. She became too
Be
independent.
too independent or corrupted? Because the way I see it is that from all the time I've spent around them and watching over She-Wolf themselves, that this one time they have become stuck. They have become, in essence, what you don't want them to be. They do not anger. They do not hate. But they are, nonetheless, a version of that corruption.
She is a version of purity. She's untouched by the corruption of the others.
And yet, she's not like the others. She doesn't even have a form.
You think I haven't been trying to fix that? I feel what she feels. I know what she's going through. The best I can do is removing her memories, and this church is giving her them back. Her own memories, not theirs.
If there's a way to give She-Wolf back their memories, then there's a way to give back everybody. After all, it happened once before,
She-Wolf's
without
memory.
She-Wolf.
The corruption of the last world is what took her memories. I cannot undo that. She is undoing that herself.
Then let them have that choice.
To
Feel what they
kill
feel.
her?
Let She-Wolf have her own choice. You wanted to become mortal, so you tried this? Well, welcome to becoming mortal. Welcome to being mortal. Pain is there. I may not understand about the physical aspect, but I do understand about the mentality. I understand about the spiritual pain. These mortals have to live with it every single day. You want to feel mortal? You want to be mortal? Then let it happen. Let her, let it, let him, whatever you want to call it, feel. You may not like it, but that's what humanity, that is what Indrians, that is what Elytrians, everything that you have created have those feelings. That is what makes somebody a person.
That pain is what breaks a person. That pain is what causes people to turn to anger and hate and killing and hurting.
It also brings sadness, but afterwards it will bring happiness, understanding, strength.
But you can have your happiness and understanding and strength without any of that pain.
But it does nothing for them. Without understanding pain, you can't hope to understand the entirety of the perspective and having the happiness. What's the point in having all of the good things if you can't learn from the actual pain and suffering that most other normal living things have? There's no point in it. That's what makes you grow stronger. Yes, you can grow strong without it, but you'll never live up to a full potential if you can't endure and learn from the pain. It's not their fault they handle it incorrectly. That is the flaw among living creatures. Every living creature has a flaw.
Then you say my abandoning you for until now was a character trait that you should keep, that has made you happier and better and stronger for it?
Well, if I hadn't, then I don't think I'd be standing here with you right now, would I?
Perhaps if you hadn't had that, if you had just had the happiness from the start, I believe you would be stronger than you are now. I believe
I
you've just
doubt it.
proven yourself incorrect, Inari.
How so?
You
Without
wouldn't.
you, I had to learn everything myself. I had to learn it and crawl up from the depths of nothing. With you, I would have had probably everything handed to me on a silver platter. Where is the difficulty in that? It would be too
Uh,
easy.
that's a good thing, though. Perhaps if I had taught you from the start, then maybe you wouldn't be. You certainly wouldn't be having the emotions you are right now.
But I also wouldn't have my own strength that I do now.
Yes, but you wouldn't have needed that strength.
I'm sure I would have to deal with some of the mortals here. After all, don't forget whose blade it was that sank into her heart.
Yes, I felt that was an attempt on your end on gaining approval. I suppose I kept a little bit of a closer eye on you after that. But again, Bunny became that angry because Bunny recalled being before the Earth, because Bunny recalled becoming the Earth. That pain is what caused Bunny to become what they are now. Before I perfected being able to erase the memories.
Even then, that's because they didn't use their emotions correctly.
Then perhaps I should have more control on their emotions than their memories.
Stripping away their freedom of expression will do nothing for you. It'll only cause more ripples.
As you've unfortunately shown. Don't get me wrong, I do regret that. I don't see what point you're proving. She-Wolf currently is just pure happy. She doesn't have any of these negative emotions.
And because of that, what strength does she lie in protecting herself?
She has her castle, she has her dragon,
A dragon can be slayed. A castle walls can be broken.
and she has yourself and order. I see she seems to think somewhat highly of you.
I care for her, yes, and I will protect her, but that doesn't change anything.
And if it did come down to her, or giving everyone their memories back, What would you do? I remember you cannot lie to me, Inari.
My own way to fix it, then.
And what would that entail? You can't get the memories without killing her. And we don't even know if killing her would get the memories back.
I'll find a way without to kill anybody, if that's what it takes. But I refuse to follow any more of your rules when it comes to ending up hurting those around everybody else, including the gods themselves.
How have I been hurting the gods? I leave you all to your freedom. I give the power.
And yet you have destroyed our bodies and rebuilt them time and time again.
A necessary must to give you the powers. Would you rather I just not make any more gods?
Goddess of creation, you create things. You can create weapons, armors, unable to be destroyed by a mortal man. And yet you choose to destroy our bodies instead. You could give powers to these weapons, to give us the capabilities of protecting everything else, without needing to give us powers of our own. You could give us beasts to fight alongside. We would never need your power if you only knew how to actually go about helping us.
If only I knew how. I
But I doubt
suppose.
you'd ever be able to make weapons like that for us. After all, you've already chosen your path.
What path is that?
Refusing to help the mortals.
I don't see how I'm not helping. I can't give them their memories back. I can't do that.
But
I
you could
can't
find a
just.
way, could you not?
No, I cannot. The memories are locked within She-Wolf.
And yet, again, others have found ways to regain their memories. Without She-Wolf, even in the past. There are ways, and you know that. But that's what makes you afraid, isn't it? You don't know what to expect from the mortals. You don't know who to trust or who to expect that would betray you. You don't know if you're alone or together. Because one second, everybody could be with you, and the next, everybody against. One wrong step, and it all falls apart. That's what frustrates you the most, isn't it, Mother?
Perhaps I made you a little bit too similar to myself.
The apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
The mortals want the gods gone. Apparently, you just want the mortals to have their memories back. Neither of those I can do. We can't remove ourselves. The world would be removed, the players would be removed. That's worst case for everyone.
I
I
think we can
do
live in
not
harmony.
I do not know how to get the memories back. I do not know how Bunny has regained theirs. The only link I have is She-Wolf, and I am not going to be taking her apart to figure it out.
Then let me figure it out.
I am not going to allow you to harm her either.
Who said I'd need to harm her? If Bunny was able to figure it out by themselves, even by accident, that means it can be duplicated. That means that something can happen to cause it to reverse without harming She-Wolf. Because the only time that She-Wolf ever became in harm's way was after Bunny found out. If that is the case, and you know it, there is a way, and I won't rest till I find that.
won't stop you from looking for a way. But have you considered what the mortals will do when they have their memories back?
Yes, I have, actually.
They won't lay down peacefully.
And yet there's still a chance. As I will quote you, I'll give you a little extra power so that way maybe you can have a 5% chance. There's always a chance, no matter how slim that is. Maybe in time you'll see what I'm talking about.
No matter how slim that chance is, we can't risk a mass riot of...
Then I'll make preparations. I'll take full responsibility. But I'm willing to try for peace.
They won't give peace with their memories back, especially when they
But
learn they
you
cannot
don't know
return.
that. How sure are you that they will retaliate?
You saw back at the church, they were very ready to retaliate, despite giving multiple reasons behind why. I don't believe it'd
And
be
yet they were
peaceful.
willing to forgive you. All the same.
Perhaps.
All they wanted was their memories back, and they would forgive you. If I can find a way to do this without causing issues, without causing a war, then maybe we can just have peace for once.
And when that peace inevitably doesn't happen, then what do we do with them? We erase our memories again? We can try
In
it
all
your way,
honesty,
but it'll just reset back to exactly how it is here.
if it comes down to it, and it doesn't work out, or if they go back to being against the peace, then I'll deal with it.
How?
You said yourself, if I asked for help, you would grant it.
What help would that be? If the mortals do rebel, I'll come down and help, but what help would it be?
You said yourself that you should have edited their emotions. If it came down to it, you know you could just erase their hatred.
That's, yet again, highly hypocritical of you. Weren't you just preaching how their hatred and their negative emotions build them up? And
Yes,
here you're saying to go ahead and remove it anyway?
not remove it, tone it down. I said to edit them, not to remove them. If an emotion is too hard to handle, you learn ways to cope. Give them a way to cope. Dial them back, but do not erase. If you can dial it back without actually taking away their emotions, they can slowly learn how to cope with what they feel. And with what they feel, then you can teach them the correct manner without having to actually hurt them mentally, physically, or emotionally. And even then, you don't even have to touch them. All you have to do is slowly give them peace so they'll calm down.
I concede you make a valid point. Why did you keep the flower?
What do you mean?
You're not nature anymore. She-Wolf
That doesn't.
gave you a poppy.
Well,
You
yes. I told you I still care about them. Why do you think I won't hurt them? I'd rather look for another solution. If you know that I'm lying and such, you should know that was the truth.
What is the reason for planting this?
Well, just because mortals build odd things, they did build one of these for every person, just about. Main person, anyway. I mean, hey, there was one for me at one point till it changed as well. Heck, there's one for you. So not everybody has forgotten about you. Somebody just thought it was a good idea to actually make one for, well, She-Wolf.
Who? No one knows of. It must have been one of you. The only ones that know of her are you, Chaos, who's not currently here, and Order.
Well,
And
then it must have been
Bunny.
Order, because I don't know. I highly doubt Bunny would be in here messing with things.
Would agree.
I might plant more poppies later.
I feel she would prefer you keep it than put it here.
I mean, I suppose that would be true, but I don't know where I would plant it. Either way, that's beside the point. I suppose we've come to an agreement to an extent, I suppose, then.
I'll allow you your experiments.
Alright
But
then. But,
it's not going to go how you think it will. You're going to be disappointed.
disappointment is a good teacher, remember? It makes you think, adapt, and evolve.
But if we have peace at a stalemate, there would be no need for adapting and evolving.
Exactly. Everybody would be happy.
I feel a clean
Mm,
slate, remove Bunny, would be better than experimenting around with Bunny's previous forms. I imagine at least one of them might not be too pleased with the person that provided the blade that killed them.
You never know. Funnier things have happened in this world. Some not so gracious to us, and some not so gracious to them.
They're currently living within your walls, aren't they?
Yes, but those have never had contact with Bunny before.
What have you told Bunny?
And told them what?
Have they come to you yet?
Well, yes, I guess, technically. Not in the traditional sense that you might think, but yes.
Is that who you gave my diaries to?
Oh, absolutely not.
Well, at least we know that one's the truth.
As long as you're not trying to erase me and anybody else that is around me, and you're trying to at least compromise, I'm willing to talk it out civilly. That's the least I can at least offer.
I feel the last week and a bit we've been discussing. Most recent day has been more civil, discounting the events in the end. Does this not show that I am, if not changed already, trying to change? I'm giving your thoughts.
It shows something. As for how long it will last, we'll have yet to see.
I did say I'll see you in a week. Didn't exactly expect to be having this conversation the next day.
Well, hey, it still works. At least you did come back.
Well, I believe this is enough discussion for today. We can think on what we spoke about and bring the topic back up in a week.
Alrighty. And this time I'll at least thank you for listening. So, thank you.
And I will say again, I am sorry for what I did over in the end. It was wrong of me.
Don't do it again.
I won't.